Welcome back, you guys. This might actually be one of the worst fixes, like for sure in the top 5 best worst fixes I have ever seen in my 17 years in the trades. I mean, first let's just revel in it in all its glory. Like, okay, what do we even have going on here? Obviously those holes were totally stripped out. We got toe screws, we got hinge screws mounted in really creative spaces. It's unbelievable. First, let's see what's happening with these oddly placed screws. Okay, so it's kind of a heavy-duty hinge screw going straight through the hinge. That one's doing nothing. It's a small hinge screw. What do we have here? A long 3-inch Robertson deck screw, or 2.5-inch screw used as a toe screw, because this screw hole was obviously totally blown out, so they went diagonally. Here we got another one of these creative ones. Like, what was even the point? Did they do this before they did the toe screws? Like, I mean, the logic here, I can't understand it. This one is spinning into nothing. Another one of those 2.5-inch Robertson screws. Another thing we need to check is just all of the hinge screws, because if they messed up that badly, we need to check them all. So I'm just turning clockwise. This one's tight. How about this one? That one's tight, and this one is tight. So these 3 screws are okay. It's just too unbelievable to me. On a side note, you guys, these long shank, round shank drill bits are the best for uninstalling and installing door hardware, because the round shank is way less likely to damage the finish of a door versus a hex shank drill bit. So I definitely recommend these guys. So this is once again gonna be one of these golf tee fixes. The first thing I need to do is get the finish off of these golf tees, at least sand it a little bit so that the glue will stick. And we're gonna have to drill those holes out a little bit bigger, because if I just try and hammer in the golf tee as it is, most of it's not gonna go in. I don't think it's gonna get glued very well, and it's just gonna mash everything around. So we are gonna drill out the holes a little bit more. So I'm not just gonna show you guys the golf tee method. Towards the end, I'll show you another method that's easier and quicker. I've found a drill bit that's about 1 millimeter smaller than the golf tee. I'd like it to be a bit closer, but I forgot my drill bits, of course. So this is pretty annoying, because we're gonna have to drill out both holes. Try not to hit the door. That one's really blown out. I'm gonna do my best to get a little bit of glue in here. And a little bit of glue on the golf tee is not gonna hurt. Get that kind of spread around a bit. So we'll start with the bigger hole first, which is actually almost golf tee sized. Of course, I forgot my hammer and I'm blocking the doorway with my camera. But hey, the old drill hammer always comes in handy. Could be a lot of ways to cut this. You could use a multi-tool if you can get in there. You could use a chisel. It's pretty soft stuff. And we've got this one in the other direction that needs to be filled. It's a little harder. Might have to get my hammer. Shocking. Hammers make better hammers. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing off camera for the other 2 holes for the screws, and also for this lower one, because as you can see, they also got 3 toe screws into this one as well. Like, where there's smoke, there's fire, you guys. Okay, so it's been about an hour. I think these are dry. I've got the new hinge, because of course I had to get a new one. I got the new hinge screwed back into the door. These are all snug and not twisting, so they're not stripped. I'm not quite happy with where this is, so I'm going to use a windbag to lift the door up a tiny bit. If you don't know about these things, I mean, I've made videos about them. They're great. So the next thing I'm gonna do is use a self-centering drill bit. I could use a bigger one. This is the one I was using for cabinet doors. So this part is a little bit small, but it does fit in. You can see it's got a little drill bit in there. It does fit in the hinge. I don't know what you call those, the holes in the hinge. I'm sure they have a fancy name. But it'll probably be easier than trying to center a regular drill bit in all that mashed up golf tees. You could use a regular drill bit. It's possible, doable, if that's all you got, but this will do a better job. I got the hinge right where I want it. Oh yeah, this is easier. Okay, so 3 new regular sized hinge screws. Shouldn't be a big problem. And if you really wanted, you could definitely still do 1 full-size 3-inch screw that goes right into the actual door jamb. It's not the worst idea. In fact, I might do that because I do still have these 2.5-inch Robertson that have a painted head. That don't go into anything, which shows me why they toe screwed. All right, well, so much for that one. There we go. And you want to make sure that they're snug, but that they can't keep spinning. Don't try so hard that you strip them again though. That's pretty good, I'm happy with that. Okay, I'm gonna make sure the door still closes properly. Yeah, no new problems. And 1 ugly hinge fixed. Let's take a look at that. Okay, looks as it should now. It's a little bit beat up back there, but I think that happened before because I really didn't mash this thing around at all. Okay, so when we go to the next hinge down, well, we can start spinning one clockwise and see that it's totally stripped. And that one's good, but so this is the original problem, right? Is that the screw is just not holding. And what's so disappointing is that there's actually a really quick and easy fix for this, that if the person knew, then we wouldn't be in the problem that we're in. So let's just back this screw out first. So there could be a lot of ways to do this. What I am going to do is I'm just gonna take a strip off this stir stick because this is the only piece of wood I have around. So I'm just carving a little bit off here. I'd say this is about like 2 toothpicks worth of wood. And you could use toothpicks, you could use stir sticks, you can use just about any little chunk of wood you can think of. So this is so easy. So I'm gonna get a little bit of glue into here. That should be plenty. Yeah, that should be more than enough. We're gonna put that in, and we'll break it off inside. Clean off this glue. Now we're going to take the screw again, and I'm not going to over tighten this. So sink this in. That new wood is going to get glued in there just till it's snug. Don't go anymore. Clean out the glue. Using some sort of clear glue instead of yellow wood glue would have been better, but it'll be okay. You guys, that's how easy it could have been. Knife, some chunk of wood, glue, screwdriver, wet cloth. Like, that's all it needed to be. But instead, because again, somebody only knew enough to be dangerous, they reamed those holes out way too big, and then they started drilling them in every which possible way with any kind of screw they could find. So yeah, that's what happened there. That's how you fix it. That's how you fix them before it gets to that point. Yeah, a bunch of information there. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and got something out of it. But most importantly, guys, I hope your projects are going really well, and I hope you are doing even better. I'm doing pretty good these days. I want to say thanks for watching. Till the next one, you guys.